Hey folks, we worked some of the counters to the traditional disarms today. So we're just going to do the first three. So the routine number one disarm off number one strike, Paul will brace block, grabs the stick, lowers it, and then hilt to hilt, so to speak. From here to here is where he executes the disarm. There to there. It could be fist on fist or hilt to hilt, doesn't matter. It's leverage. He drops that, weakens the grip, and then proceeds through. The counter to this is there's the traditional one. As soon as I make contact, I roll into that space and I barrel kind of barrel roll this to upend his grip. From here, it's here and here. I've also seen professors strike. Even if he did grab the stick, he starts to complicate it because I don't have control, but he'll strike this here to here. Or if I get to him first, there's the roll this way and the roll this way. That's what does it. The other thing that we can do is once I get to here, I turn this into an arm bar and push. So there's a couple of different things you can do along the way. Let's switch. So from here, before he gets his grip, I roll this and I stay here and pull this, or I switch to the arm bar and I push. Okay? The other thing's simple. If we can get him to grab both sticks, we capitalize on it and we dump this. He's tied up. Bang. Okay? Here to here, he grabs, I can freeze this and just insert this. The other thing is I can roll onto this, pull this in, strike this, punch, and hit. Actually picked this up from Master Eugene from Wattbag. 1, 2, 3. And then he counters with a vertical here to here. He counters up and we just roll into something else. But the counter to the number one disarm is literally this. Okay? Number two, he actually gives me 3/4 of the disarm. I go to strike. The number two disarm is he rolls this up, the wrap to here. And then there's the flat elbow to take away the stick. So from here, literally, there's the disarm. All I do is I extend it. From here, I go right up behind the neck, either headbutt or turn this into a choke. He literally put it there for me. It's going, going, going. I just keep going. There it is. The other thing I can do is use the tail of the stick. Once he gets it to here, I grab this. There's a nice little side by side. Okay, so from here, the number two, it goes up, right around the neck, trap this, or to here, and I pull this. There it is. The goal, yes, you can look at each one of these and see the counter, or I just did the first 9 with our crew this morning, and Paul and I were working with them, and we told them, watch for the vulnerability. And here's a great example. When he goes to do number 3, he literally just wrapped his arm around my stick. So once he wraps it, I just capitalize on it, and I go to here. He just gave it to me. So he literally wraps his cane around, and I either grab both or just mine. And I have single lock. Okay, other side. He wraps, and I capitalize on it. Now, for some reason, he's too strong, and I can't get him to come over. I just compress in here. So even if I have just his arm, I full grip, and I use the arm blade, and I compress the upper arm. Okay, that works as well. So from here, I literally just grab, and I execute single lock. Okay? The takeaway is if we went through all 12 of the traditional disarms, a lot of times the wrists wind up crossed or the arms come together for the sake of doing the disarm, and that's where we're the most vulnerable. So this was the first 3. No matter what phase you're training in, we've all heard there's counters everywhere. There really is. If we're in here, and I switch over, maybe I go into the left. I go to here. I go to here. I go to here. It never ends. It comes back. From here to here. We switch this. We go to here. We slow this down. I have this immediately. There's the counter. There's the counter. There's the counter. I switch this over. There it is. Boom. I take this. I switch this. It doesn't matter. There's counters everywhere. He who has the most counters wins. So even something as basic as number one. Here, even if I abort the stick, I still have the disarm. Or I do this, he takes the stick, doesn't matter, I turn this into an armbar. Yes, there's a trade-off. He's got both sticks, but I have him in an armbar. The armbar is not going to stop there. It's going to go to the ground. But as soon as I make contact, I go to here and I strip. Or I execute the armbar. I get up onto here, I push, pull this, bang, bang, bang. Or I wound up a little higher up. It doesn't matter. So if you're working the counters, don't just look for the counter. Go through all 12 basic disarms and look for the common points through all of the techniques. If I poke 6 and he goes to do number 6, the canes just went vertical. There it is. We basically just gave it to him. The canes went vertical and I just reach in and I grab. They're not quite all that simple, but they're close. Okay, so yes, it's counter for counter, but sometimes the rule of 3 applies, meaning there's Paul, myself, and that third person. That's the vantage point. Watch him do the strike, watch me do the counter, and watch to see where that window of opportunity is. Sometimes the most important part of training in Arnis is to be that third person, because you get to see what each other are doing. Okay, that's it for now. We'll see you soon. Thank you.